So this is a crazy list. I don't know how long this is going to take, but guys, we're going to try and dissect all 131 teams here today. This came out August 1st. What is today's date? The 3rd? Today is actually the 4th. So guys, let's get right into it here. August 4th, we're about 3 weeks away. We've got all 131 FBS teams now with James Madison joining the FBS ranks. There's 131, and we're going to look at all the rankings, and they've got Uconn as the worst team in college football. Uconn actually opens their season at Utah State. I don't know, is that correct? Is that week 0 maybe? Because I thought Alabama faces Utah State week 1. Either way, guys, I was told that Florida International is the worst team in FBS. That's what I was told. So they've got Uconn. You know, Uconn's always really bad. You've got Umass. I'll try and do at least one little comment thing on every one of these teams, but they start their season at Tulane. They're projected to go 1-11. Their 2021 record was 1-11. Okay, so you know, UMass, another horrible team. New Mexico State, they're always really bad. Akron at 128. Yeah, Akron actually faced Ohio State last year when Kyle McCord started, and they actually have St. Francis. That's not even a division. That's not even an FBS team. St. Francis is FCS. FIU, so Florida International at 127. I think they're actually going to be the worst team in college football. They're at 127. UL Monroe, they face Texas week 1. Oh, that Texas-Alabama game is week 2. That's right. Ball State at what? I really don't know much about these teams, obviously. This is a MAC school, Ball State. This is a Thursday night game at Tennessee. There's a primetime matchup for them. Bowling Green, they're always really bad. They were going to face Ohio State in 2020. The game got canceled. And you guys remember when Bowling Green faced Ohio State, I believe it was 2017. JT Barrett, I think, threw 7 touchdown passes, or I think it was 6 touchdown passes to open the season. Ohio State won 77-10. You've got Buffalo at 123, another MAC school. Khalil Mack played there. We've got New Mexico. So New Mexico and New Mexico State are just brutal teams. How about Maine? Season opener versus Maine. We've got, this is tough to even follow. So Arkansas State at 121. So Ohio State does face Arkansas State week 3. It's a primetime noon matchup on BTN. That's going to be a big one. Now, I think C.J. Stroud is not going to play a snap in the second half of that game. That's going to hurt Ohio State's strength of schedule. Rice at 120. They open the season at USC, so they get Lincoln Riley's debut. So they're going to be in the spotlight. I think that's a weird, 5 o'clock game. Well, Eastern, because I'm Eastern, so it's 2 o'clock Pacific. Charlotte at 119, they open at FAU. I know nothing about Charlotte. Texas State at 118, they open up at Nevada. UTEP, so yeah, these teams, Georgia Southern, we're just going to roll through. Ohio at Florida Atlantic, that's a weird matchup. Eastern Michigan at 114, Kent State at 113, James Madison making their debut versus Middle Tennessee. Welcome to FBS football. What an amazing school they were at the FCS level. We've got South Alabama. They've got one of the worst logos in college football. Southern Miss, they've got their annual game versus Alabama. I actually don't know. It always seems like Southern Miss faces Alabama. Either them or the Citadel. No, I think the Citadel always faces Clemson, actually. Old Dominion at 109. They start at Virginia Tech. Didn't Old Dominion beat Virginia Tech last year or something? They have a home and home or something. I think Virginia Tech faced Old Dominion away. Oh, this tight end, by the way, is a transfer from Penn State. Interesting fact about this tight end. At one point, he was a 5-star. He was the number 1 tight end in the nation, and then he dropped down. Then he commits to Penn State. He ends up, transferring to Old Dominion because one of Penn State's, defensive coach or whatever is coaching Old Dominion. There's a fun fact there. Middle Tennessee, who cares? Temple, boring. It's sad with Temple, with the stadium situation. The horrible environment. I mean, how can you even come close to building a program when your stadium is an NFL facility and there's going to be tons of empty seats. It's a horrible atmosphere. Like, it's literally impossible for you to build a program. But that's a good start. You face Duke. Duke is the worst Power 5 team, maybe, this year. So they might actually beat Duke. They get them at home. Oh, they might win that game. UNLV is, you always think, oh, they have Harrison Bailey from Tennessee. That's an interesting QB transfer. He'll probably throw more interceptions than touchdowns. Hawaii, an offensive tackle is who you need to watch. They open up. Is that a home game versus, does Vanderbilt travel to Hawaii? Oh, that's amazing if that is the case. Florida Atlantic, they've been bad. They've been irrelevant ever since Lane Kiffin left. Central Michigan, not a bad MAC team. They open at Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State always has a game where they almost lose to a bad team. It could be week 1. We might see something like that. Who knows? Louisiana Tech. This Williamson kid is appearing in second round of mock drafts, so he's a beast, the safety. BJ. Miami University. Miami of Ohio. Yeah, good for them. Some of these, okay, so this is the top 100. This is hard to follow. Nevada at 100. You'd think they open up at one of the worst teams in the nation. You got to win that game. Navy at 99. They are worse than, actually, Army's supposed to be really good this year, and Air Force is actually supposed to be good. North Texas, Georgia State, Wyoming. They always have. How about this? Wyoming at Illinois, the ultimate non-conference battle. That's a 7:30 game on ESPN. Kirk Herbstreit on the call. You love seeing stuff like that. That's how you grow college football. Northern Illinois, they're always a solid team out of the MAC. Colorado State at Michigan week 1. I believe that's a noon game on ABC. So, yeah, I think they're 27-point underdogs at Michigan at the Big House. South Florida, season opener BYU. That's a nice matchup. San Jose State gets a shout out. They get Portland State in a big slugfest. We've got Troy at 91. They're at Ole Miss. So Jackson Dart's debut, Zach Evans' debut with Ole Miss. That Troy is looking for an upset. I like that. I like what's going on there. Western Kentucky at 90. Austin Peay is who they face week 1. Tulane, they get UMass. They should be 1-0. Louisiana, some of these teams are just boring. East Carolina, NC State. Oh, so they don't even say if they're home or road games. Yeah, they don't even say that. So that is annoying. I would like to know. So I'm guessing they're at NC State. Yeah, that is annoying. Marshall faces an FCS team. Congratulations. The Herd. UAB. Alabama A&M is who they face. Utah State. Does Utah State play week 0? They have to. Otherwise, these are wrong. Because, guys, when you think about this, Alabama faces Utah State week 1. I know that for sure. So Utah State has to have a week 0 game versus Uconn. That's my theory on that situation. Duke at 83. So Duke is the worst Power 5 team according to this rankings. They're at 83. Who do they open with? Temple? Yeah, they'll lose to Temple, I'm guessing. Liberty at 82. Western Michigan at 81. Toledo. So Ohio State faces Toledo. So that's actually a good MAC team. Yeah, Toledo is supposed to win the MAC. Ohio State faces Toledo week 2, prime time, 7 o'clock, Fox Sports. And Joel Klatt on the call. UTSA at 79, they open versus Houston. I think UTSA also faces Texas, so they've got a brutal non-conference. With Houston's going to be good. They're going to lose to Houston, I'll tell you that much. Coastal Carolina, Grayson McCall, Army. Wait, Army? Yeah, Army's supposed to be good. I get Army and Navy confused. That's the problem. Oh, I thought Army was going to be better than this. You know what? They have Coastal Carolina ranked way too low. Am I the only one that thinks this with Grayson McCall? This is a top 60 team. They've got it 70. Army's a top 40 team. Air Force is a top 30 team. Oh, they're underranking the. And then they put Tulsa at 75. Yeah, no. Vanderbilt at 74 at Hawaii. So they do travel. This is Vanderbilt's big vacation. This is why you go to Vanderbilt, because you get to go to Hawaii. That's a week 0 game, I'm guessing. They do it for the travel. And Kansas, They're not the worst Power 5 team. They're going to get a nice win against Tennessee Tech, you would hope. SMU, I've heard good things about SMU. Indiana, what a massive fall for Indiana. They face Illinois. That's a week 0 game. Mullen is a really good cornerback. I like him a lot. Arizona at 70. They had like a 15-game losing streak a year ago or something like that. Memphis at 69 at Mississippi State. Maybe they pull the upset off there. Appalachian State, they're always decent. That's a tough game versus North Carolina. Northwestern at 67, they've got that game in Ireland. They travel to my home country. Guys, I'm kidding. I've never been to Ireland. People think, I've never been to Ireland once. That's the thing. But they do travel to Dublin, and they're facing Nebraska in a little trip there across the pond. Rutgers. You know what? Good for Rutgers. They're 66. They're moving up. Greg Schiano, he's instilling something. They've got a nice talent base in New Jersey. They're recruiting better. Georgia Tech, they have the hardest schedule in college football, or at least one of the hardest schedules. Clemson week 1 in Atlanta. Oh, kill me. Fresno State at 64. Yeah, this quarterback's getting a lot of hype. Cal Poly is who they face. Now, Fresno State might actually be a top 25 team. UCF, they're always solid. Colorado. I've actually seen rankings where Colorado is ranked lower than Colorado State. That is not the case here. We've got Stanford. Yeah, Stanford is, they just can't get out of their own way. Whatever happened to David Shaw? He used to be this major NFL candidate coach, and he's just completely, it's not happening. This cornerback is getting some NFL hype in the second round, though, so that'll be interesting. Texas Tech. Oh, I remember this QB. I think was this kid committed to Oregon? They face Murray State week 1. Washington State, they're always pretty good. The transfer QB from the FCS school, the dual threat kid. Yeah, Washington State is a team to watch, certainly. Boise State, you have to respect. Oh, that's a good game. Boise State at Oregon State, week 1. That's nice. We've got Virginia Tech taking on Old Dominion. We've got Virginia. Oh, come on now. See, the thing is, guys, when you do stuff like this, it shows me there's just, Virginia is so underranked. I don't know how you can have them outside of your top 30. I would have them inside of my top 25. They return so much. Brennan Armstrong. But it's not just Brennan Armstrong. It's 2 or 3 elite receivers as well. It is unacceptable to have them. And they're projecting a 6-6 record from Virginia? That is unacceptable, folks. Unacceptable. California at 55. They open with UC Davis, I think that's who that is. San Diego State at 54. They open with Arizona. That'll be a good matchup. Arizona State, they open with Northern Arizona. So we've got Arizona facing everyone. All these matchups with Arizona. How about Sean Tucker? For some reason, I thought Sean Tucker was like a 7th-year senior last year. I mean, I had myself convinced of it, but then I look and it's like, it's not even like he's a junior. He was a sophomore. So I don't even know what I was thinking. So Sean Tucker, guys, if you want a college running back to follow that's fun, I mean, he's not going to win the Heisman because it's Syracuse, but he'll put up 1,600 rushing yards. And you know how these college teams are, like Syracuse, for example, they've got no quarterback. They've got nothing else. They're just going to give Sean Tucker, 50 carries. So it should be fun. Louisville against Malik Cunningham. That's a fun matchup. Illinois, they've got Illinois ranked way too high. I'm sorry. No, you got to move Illinois down. Wyoming, and then the top 50. So Iowa State, what a fall for Matt Campbell. SE Missouri State, huh? What a great non-conference. Maryland at 49. Oh, I love the Maryland offense. They open with Buffalo. Guys, what's with Maryland? Every year it seems like early on in the season, they run up the score in a non-conference game. I've seen them score 70 points, I think, back-to-back years against like a MAC school. I mean, they're running it up. And Ohio State does it too, but we don't try and run it up. It just happens. TCU, yeah, Quentin Johnson's actually being mocked in the first round at Colorado. Oh, that's a big game for the Big 12. That is a big game. They got to win that game. Oregon State, that game versus Oregon State should be good. They're improving every year. It's going to be interesting. Nebraska, they got to win at least 7 or 8 games minimum. They got to win this week 1 game or week 0 game in Dublin, Ireland. Boston College, Zay Flowers is so underrated, guys, for Boston College. So underrated. Cincinnati, they lose everyone. Imagine, you know how funny it would be if they beat an SEC team that's actually getting some hype? Arkansas with KJ Jefferson returning. Oh, it would be amazing, but it's an away game, and Cincinnati is basically rebuilding their entire roster. They had like 8 first-round picks. Missouri at 43, I would move them down. I think that's overranking Missouri. North Carolina, oh, I love Josh Downs. Josh Downs is crazy. Crazy, guys. West Virginia at 41. They open at Pittsburgh. That is a big game for them. That's a winnable game. You know, Pittsburgh without Jordan Addison. Florida State's at 40. Duquesne week 1, huh? So Florida State, they always seem to lose to a really bad team every year. Kansas State 39. Deuce Vaughn is getting some Heisman hype. He's not going to win the Heisman. But Kansas State, they got the transfer QB, Adrian Martinez from Nebraska. So we'll see. They're actually an under-the-radar team. I could see them winning maybe 8 or 9 games. Probably 8. They actually went 8-5. They've got them at 6-6. I see at least 7-5 for them. Wow, they were ranked 26th overall in the final rankings. I didn't realize Kansas State was that high. Washington at 38. They have that massive non-conference week 3 game against Michigan State at home. That'll be a great game. How about Kent State? It's kind of weird Kent State decides to schedule a game with Washington. Purdue at 30. I would move Purdue down. They just don't have the playmakers. I know Aiden O'Connell is decent, but I don't know. I'm surprised the player to watch is not Aiden O'Connell. Houston, underrated. I would have them inside the top 25. Nathaniel Dell is a beast receiver at UTSA. That's a big game for them. Minnesota, Mo Ibrahim. Heisman candidate. A lot of people like Minnesota this year because Tanner Morgan. I didn't know Tanner Morgan's like in his 9th year with Minnesota. Louisville, I would say move them down a little bit. That's a little aggressive. I understand Malik Cunningham. You got to have the player to watch Malik Cunningham there. Come on. BYU at 33. That's BYU. BYU's always a good team. UCLA, they're a top 25 team. Come on. And the player to know should be Zach Charbonnet. And guys, have you seen UCLA is another team? It's like Michigan. Their non-conference schedule, oh my God, it's so bad. It is so bad. It's like back-to-back-to-back. It's the same thing as Michigan. Home game, horrible. And they have weird start times. It's like 5 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Eastern. Well, I guess 3 o'clock's the normal time. No, it was like 5 o'clock, 2 o'clock. It's really weird if you look it up. Mississippi State at 31. They get Will Rogers is going to have Tommy John surgery because the dude throws 70 passes a game and he's back and he's only a junior. His arm is going to fall off if he comes back next year with that Mike Leach offense. They face Memphis. That's a low-key good matchup versus Memphis. Wake Forest, I love A.T. Perry. A.T. Perry is a beast. They open up. They're 30th. I'm a little bit lower on Wake Forest than some people. I would probably have them at like 38 in my rankings. Kentucky, wow, I'm surprised they don't have Kentucky inside their top 25. I like that, though. They open with Miami of Ohio. Iowa. Yeah, I would move Iowa down. I don't see it. Jack Campbell, that's a typical Iowa player. He's a gamer. Well, he's a gamer. South Carolina at 27. Spencer Rattler. Yeah, I'd move them down. I mean, come on. Baylor at 26. That's a little disrespectful. It is. Once again, Baylor's great non-conference schedule. Albany. And then the top 25. So Auburn, I would struggle to find a spot for Auburn inside my top 50, honestly, with Auburn. I have no clue what they're doing. Auburn I would say Auburn's ranked like 45th or something. That's where I would put them. They're a dumpster fire. Miami, that's just disrespectful towards Miami. They're a top 15 team. Tyler Van Dyke is a superstar in the making. Arkansas, I agree with Arkansas. That's a fine ranking at 23. LSU, because of their talent, I understand putting them inside the top 25. Keyshawn Butte, the former 5-star receiver. He was injured last year, but he's back. He's a beast. And they get Florida State week 1 in New Orleans in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Pittsburgh, yeah, I would not have Pittsburgh inside my top 25. I thought this kid was a defensive tackle, but he's getting some serious draft hype. I've seen him. Apparently, he's a pass rusher. I'll have to look him up. Tennessee at number 20. Tennessee's a fringe top 25 team. I have no issues. A&M, I would move up a little bit. Not much, but I'd move them to like 14 or 15. Sam Houston State is who they open with. Ole Miss, I think that's the perfect ranking, 18 for them. Penn State at 17, Joey Porter Jr., beast. Week 1 game, Thursday night game at Purdue. That's going to be a fun one Thursday night. Ohio State had that Thursday night thing last year, you guys remember, with Minnesota. What a charade that was. Michigan State, so Michigan State may be a little bit high, but I like that they're respecting the Big Ten teams. I like this. Texas at 15, they have the talent. I know people will roll their eyes, but Ewers, Bijan, Worthy, a talented defense. They always recruit well. Sarkisian, I have no problem ranking them 15th, personally. Wisconsin at 14, I like that they're showing Wisconsin respect. Braylon Allen is a stud. He's like, Wisconsin fans were saying the kid's like 16 years old, so it's like, my God. I don't even know if we can talk about Braylon Allen. He's like too young. He'll sue people or something. Oklahoma at 13, Marvin Mims. Yep. No, I like the Oklahoma at 13, and Marvin Mims is a beast, and they have Dylan Gabriel, so that's a team that's going to be good. Oklahoma's always good. See, this is not now. Oklahoma State's losing 5 or 6 games, guys. I'm being honest. They're going to lose week 1 to Central Michigan. Florida at 11, yeah, it's just too high for me. Anthony Richardson is too much of a question mark to put them in at number 11. Notre Dame, yeah, I'd move Notre Dame up to about number 7. But it's not a horrible ranking. So, at Ohio State week 1, we know that is a loss. Oregon at number 9. Yeah, it's just too high. But I think Oregon's going to be really good this year based off of their schedule. They don't face USC, and they get Utah and UCLA both at home. And they've got Bo Nix, and they've got a really good defense with like 3 legit 5-stars that are ready to break out. Oregon is a team to watch. NC State, Peyton Wilson, this was a top 100 linebacker. I remember him as a recruit. They're getting hyped because of the quarterback. We'll see. I don't have an issue putting them at number 8. I'd probably move them to like 11. Michigan at number 7. I have no problem with them being at number 7. They've got the horrible non-conference. Utah at number 6. I've got no issues. USC at number 5. I know people will be mad. I have no issues with USC at number 5. They're really talented. They've got an unbelievable transfer quarterback. Excuse me. Ooh. They've got an unbelievable transfer quarterback. So, yeah, you can take a look. Look at their 2018 ranking. Their final ranking in 2021 was 74. And their preseason 2022 ranking is 5th. That's transfer portal for you. Completely redesigned their entire roster because of a coaching change. Clemson. Yeah, so guys, I know exactly what the AP poll is going to do with the top 4. This is the exact order. I can already see it. Clemson is 4. Georgia's 3, Ohio State's 2, Alabama's 1. It's locked in. I know that's exactly what's going to be the preseason AP poll. After that, there's question marks. After that, at number 5, I think they probably go Utah. At number 6, they probably will go Michigan and then Notre Dame at number 7. I'm just guessing, but I know the top 4. We all know the top 4, and it's going to be this order. They will put Clemson at 4 with the talented defense. Clemson, they weren't unbelievable. Everyone said they had a bad year. They still went 10-3. So it was a down year, whatever. Georgia at 3. I don't think anyone's going to disagree. Ohio State at 2. I don't think anyone's going to disagree. Alabama at 1. That's fairly obvious. So that is the top 131. So a lot of rankings here to look at, and it'll be interesting. But guys, I still think Virginia is undervalued at this point, just in my opinion, when it comes to overall rankings. And then Oklahoma State is overvalued, along with Florida. Florida is ranked too high in these other teams. Wisconsin, that's a good ranking. Texas, I'm fine with it. Michigan State, that's good. Penn State, that's good. Ole Miss, that's good. A&M, I'd have them higher, honestly. Tennessee, I'd probably put them at like 24. Pittsburgh, I'd move them out. I'd move them outside the top 30. LSU, it's because of their talent, I know. Arkansas, that's fine. Miami, that's disrespectful. Auburn, come on, Auburn's outside the top 100. I'm just kidding, but that is the top 25. But guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.